We're taking you live to Canberra now. The Greens are holding a news conference following their discussions with Labor to try and amend the climate bill. The Greens leader Adam Bandt is speaking. He's explaining that the Greens believe Labor's target to cut emissions isn't good enough, describing the 43% target as weak. Let's listen in.
Publicly, my Greens party colleagues have empowered me to continue those negotiations, and we'll keep working on that while we're up here. Our preference, as I said before, is to improve and pass climate legislation in this parliament. It's clear this election where both Labor and Coalition who spruiked more coal and gas both saw their votes go backwards. The Greens vote went up because we said it's time to stop opening coal and gas projects. You can't put the fire out while you're pouring petrol on it. Now that remains a point of difference between us and the government. The government has said publicly that they're keen to keep opening coal and gas projects. But while we're up here in Parliament, we'll continue those negotiations in good faith to see if we can reach a position where we can pass legislation that allows us to start taking climate action, because that's what people want. People want the government to do more than it had promised. People want coal and gas to stay in the ground. I think we can have a debate, including potentially over the remaining 3 years of this parliamentary term, about how quickly we should get out of coal and gas and what we should do to support coal and gas workers in the change. But I think everyone across the country would be in agreement that while we're negotiating climate legislation, we shouldn't be making the problem worse by opening up new coal and gas mines. And to give you just one example, and then I'm very happy to take some questions. There's 114 new coal and gas projects on the books. Just one of those in the Beetaloo Basin could lift Australia's pollution by up to 13% a year. We don't want to be in a situation where Parliament passes climate laws on a Monday to lower Australia's emissions, only to have Labor go out on Tuesday and open up the Beetaloo Basin and add 13% to emissions. We know the Northern Territory Labor government backs the Beetaloo Basin. There are reports that they have asked the federal government for funding for the Beetaloo Basin, for the public to put its hand in its pocket to make the climate crisis worse and give public subsidies to gas corporations to open up the Beetaloo Basin. That one project alone could blow any chance of us meeting our targets and of Australia doing its bit to ensure that we have a safer climate. And there's 114 projects. So projects like the Beetaloo, like Scarborough gas project, like Narrabri, they will all not only make the climate crisis worse, but they could blow any chance of us meeting even these weak targets. So we'll continue to have those discussions within the parameters of the issues that we've outlined publicly. And if we're in a position to be able to reach agreement to improve and pass legislation, that's our hope, that's our preference, and our energy at the moment while we're up here is spent working towards that end.